So if you guys saw my most recent video, you know there's a brand new game mode coming out to Grand Summoners, known as Grand Battle. And in that video, I talked about some new characters coming to Grand Summoners. One of those characters were Azuel. Azuel is a brand new unit coming to the game, and he's actually releasing alongside this Grand Battle update, and he's already out on Grand Summoners JP. Some of you guys may have even summoned him by this point. But all his information came out, so your boy wants to break him down, see how good he is, and if he's meta or not. His skill is able to buff up his own R gauge by 4 and increase his Regalia gauge by 40, max 300. Now, Regalia is a new mechanic that he has. I don't know if all the characters that are going to be coming from Tales of the Buccaneer will have this mechanic, but he has this, and from what I can tell, it functions as another art gauge to an extent. Think of it as a way to overclock your arts. His art is able to reduce the enemy's break res. The true art is buffing up your own damage by 150%. Every time you use this true art, you permanently increase the stats of all allies by 10%. His super art consumes your current Regalia gauge, and then for 30 seconds you increase fire allies damage by 1 times the number of Regalia consumed. Of course, a maximum of 300%. Additionally, if 100 or more Regalia is consumed for 30 seconds, you increase all allies break power by 150%. Additionally, if 300 is consumed, you increase all allies accuracy by 150. Kind of a little bit niche with that last buff there, but that's still pretty impressive, especially considering the fact that if you look at his break power, he's at 7k on the super art. So 150% break power to him, yeah, his break power is going to be hitting extremely hard. In terms of his passives, he's able to buff up his own Regalia gauge by 4 per second, and when your own HP is 100%, you increase your own Regalia gauge by 8 per second instead. You also increase your own freeze res by 100%, and you increase your own damage to enemies and break by 50%. This isn't everything, ladies and gentlemen, because he also has a true weapon. His true weapon will buff up his own damage by 40%. This thing is stackable. Unfortunately, though, I mean, it's only on a 45-second cooldown, so I don't know how you're going to be able to get this going 24/7 to even stack it up, but hey, you know, it's there. It does have 4k break, though, so it's going to hit pretty hard in that department. But when it's on Azuel, he's going to be able to buff up his own break power by 30% and art gauge by 2 per second. Also increases his own attack by 5%. So we have a fire breaker coming to the game as the first character in this saga, and as a breaker, he's looking pretty solid. Of course, he has some tough competition, since we also have Chloe in this department as well, right? Chloe's being able to give you the support, gives you the crazy break power buffs, and also gives you a huge fire res down compared to someone like Azuel. So he's definitely more hardcore focused into the breaking department. One thing I will say is that if you do use him alongside Chloe, I think his break power buff will stack with Chloe's, since his is a fire allies break power buff and Chloe's is a universal break power buff. We'll have to see if that actually works or not, but take that into account whenever you're considering this unit. So if you actually can use them alongside each other, it's going to be a very strong duo when it comes to breaking any boss of the game. Him being the first Regalia character too is pretty crazy, which I'm just going to refer to Regalia as the reg gauge from now on, or just reg, since saying Regalia so many times I'm definitely going to get tongue twisted here and there. I kind of like this mechanic, by the way. I'm pretty into it. The only thing I wish is that there was more ways for you to generate the reg gauge. The fact that it's only tied to his skill and then passively, I'm not really too big of a fan of that. I would love if I could do it through an equip or by using like a certain attack or whatever else. And the fact that it only is for his super art is something that I actually do like. When it comes to Mono Fire, this man's gonna be set. I mean, he can be used alongside characters like Chloe or Sunraku, Valentine's Day Priscilla, and then even Summer Iris on JP. Which means not only will this character just be able to break a lot of stuff, he's gonna be able to hit extremely hard. Really, the only issue I see with them is using this character outside of Mono Fire. Yeah, he can be used as a breaker, but like, if he's not in Mono Fire or used alongside other fire allies, he's kind of just there. I mean, sure, you could just say that he's a solo character at that point, where he's going to be able to buff up himself in terms of like the damage he's able to deal, the break power-ups and all that, but I mean, you definitely want to use him on a Mono Fire team if you can. Another thing that is a little bit of a nitpick with me is just his slots. His slots are pretty solid, but at the same time, having the slots that he does for a breaker, he's not going to be able to just break with his slots alone, I feel like. The 5-star defense is really nice though for harder content. It really sucks they didn't release any type of gameplay for this character or any type of trailers or anything at the current time we're recording this. I probably won't be able to get this out till Monday more than likely. So we can't really see like how the reg gauge will look in game or how his animations are and all that. But yeah, overall, this man Azuel is looking pretty solid. Not really anything broken, but a cool little mechanic that I could definitely see that maybe the next character that comes out for the saga might be dummy broken. Like, it's very possible that the next character that comes out, or some type of character that comes out for the Buccaneer Tales, is going to be ridiculously strong. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this one. Tell me down below what you guys all think about Azuel. You liking the character or you not? If you wind up getting him on JP, tell me how you feel about him too. Also, if you've been playing the new game mode on JP, let me know all that type of stuff as well. Oh, and if you didn't check out the new game mode video, you should go check it out. It tells you all the stuff that you need to know about the new game mode if you're interested in it. Well, at least what we know right now. One more thing too, don't forget to drink water.